Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Disrupt Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, whatever. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is December the 16th of 2025. What a long, strange trip it's been these last 12 years, people, on this channel. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Happy Hanukkah. Buy and hold, perseverance, no emotion. Bitcoin always returns to its all-time high, but we're going to talk about on today's show when that might be. It might be far away. This is where the big boys play, so we can wait. And we have the best guests in the space. I'll talk about maybe a Beyond Bitcoin Israel show. Maybe we'll do one of those soon if you want it. You can change your behavior, people. I have a lot of sayings, don't I? Holder of last resort, don't scam yourself. Hello, my elite friends. I want to thank some of my elite friends like belladrayven, Henry Law, Tune In, Drop Out, Enter Valhala, Andypdx, Cocoa Beach 365, Nomee Nome, Terry Grier, DaCryptoRaccoon, Paul and Deniz and Cold Flow. And we only need $75 more for a new One Bitcoin show. 2028 halving. You guys excited? Are you guys excited about it? Okay. So let's talk about Bitcoin being the Bitcoin price and the possible hopium that's out there. Okay. You guys have conviction. I know that. You value your wealth, and you value your wealth in Bitcoin. You're 20%ers. You're buying over crying. You're offended by selling. You are my elite friends. And I want to thank one of you guys. You sent me some Litecoin in May, and I just noticed it, so that was really cool. And we'll talk about Litecoin today a little bit. Oh, I still have to light the menorah tonight. It's the third night, baby. Okay, so yes, let's talk about scattering hopium throughout the show, because there's all sorts of scenarios out there we can come up with that are just going to be hopium, why it's different this time. But the 4-year cycle has hit its traditional 210,000 block peak price day, okay? And that would have been, back in October, $127,000. And that's not what most people were expecting. And so if we continue with the 4-year cycle, I mean, I thought it was going to get closer to 200,000 this cycle, but it's over. If it's a traditional 4-year cycle, it ended in October. We're way past it in terms of blocks right now. We're like into where things should be going down, and they're going down. It didn't get to 200,000. I mean, I say, if this is the traditional 4-year cycle, grab your cojones, and we could hit a low of 59,000 on October the 16th, 2026 for this cycle. Oh, no, you're saying. Adam, come on, it's different this time. So if it's not different this time, it's going to be like 59,000. It's going to be on around a year from now, less than a year from now. So that's not that long, October 16th, 2026. So we're going to talk about reasons why it might be different. One of my original reasons, which is not valid, is that the Supreme Court might release its tariff decision soon. Well, that actually is a reason. It's not going to be soon. It'll probably be June. But maybe these tariffs are so horrible that them getting rid of the tariffs, I mean, Trump should just get rid of them now. That everything would return to normal in our economy and in the Bitcoin world, which is now very much intertwined with the traditional economy. So I also want to thank someone out there. They used my referral link, which is below. Please use this thing, guys. It's a way to stay healthy and to help my show. But at the same time, you're not, sending me any money. You're going to pay $365, I think it is, for Function Health. These awesome, like 110 different biomarkers, blood tests. I mean, they took so much blood from me. It covers that. And then a follow-up one. I just had my follow-up one that's like 60 more. And a lot of your doctors out there, you might be saying, well, my doctor can already give me blood tests. they refuse to give some people some of these things out here. You want your omega-3s, your omega-6, you want all these things that they're just going to be, it's a waste of time. I don't want to do that. I know what I'm doing. High cholesterol, blah, 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 blah. Dudes, I was very happy with I learned a lot from the results. There were some things I was disappointed in. I got to work on some things. I obviously got to work. I think I'm overtraining, overrunning. And you never know. Maybe not the best genetics in the world or whatever. I'm working on a lot of different things out there. Hey man, I feel great. So that's awesome. But for you guys, seriously, I use this. I use Function Health, and it's linked to below. One of you two of you have done this actually. So I thank you guys a lot. It's a serious thing. That's why I'm putting it at the beginning of the show. $365 for the year, and you get all these blood tests. Now, if you're in New York and New Jersey, there might be some extra taxes, I've heard. So that's a difference. But yeah, if you got all these tests alone, it would be a lot more than $365. And if you're doing well with yourselves, you can get some really interesting extra ones. Like I got the cancer screening, which cost a lot of money. It's over $800. But I wanted to know if I had cancer. It's the best blood test for cancer. Oh, but anyway, that's a separate thing. I'm just the $365. I believe it's $365 because a whole year, all these tests you can get. And also you can get add-ons like you get body scans and stuff for good prices. It's you don't need a doctor anymore, and it got AI. It's fun. Now I wanted to jump to. I just ran away with that on that subject a little bit more than I should have. But you guys ask about health on here. Pound that like button, people. Quantum. We've heard all this quantum FUD, and now Nick Carter is saying that, well, maybe it's real. Maybe it can happen. I at ARK Investments, I like ARK Investments, Kathy Wood. She gets a lot of stuff wrong, but she has some smart guys there. Interesting show. And her quantum guy thinks it's going to be pretty far away, like 20 years, 30 years. I really hope we get there. We'll be living really long lives. It's going to solve. I really don't think we'll get there in the next 5 years or whatever. So I don't think there's anything to worry about with Bitcoin. But there is a site, and Nick Carter put this out there. I used it. I checked addresses of mine on it. You could check every one of your Bitcoin addresses to see if quantum did happen, if you'd be in deep doo-doo, okay? project11.com/Bitcoin. It's linked to below. I linked to it below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked below. Of course, I didn't link to Kathy Wood ARK below because sorry about that. You guys have to look her up. I retweet her guys a lot. It's not the best show in the world. Peter Diamandis is and he's linked to below, much better AI related show. He talks about some crypto also. That's positive. I love the positive stuff. Peter Diamandis is great. The guys on All In, they can be positive, but they can worship. They can be way too statist, and their philosophies aren't that. Freeberg's got the best philosophy, and then they let horrible people on their show, horrible people on their show, and they don't seem to. And then they ask, well, why is this anti-Semitism is spreading? I'm like, dude, you're putting the people who allow like straight up anti-Semites on their show to be on your show. So, you're helping with that. But, okay. So yeah, Quantum Checker. Now, speaking of Peter Diamandis, he has this genius on his show his name is Alex, a really smart guy. And he said something about AI that I love. How AI of the near future is not labor and it's not capital. Okay. We're used to labor versus capital. It's a third option that turns us all into investors into fleets of AI of our choosing. Again, AI is going to turn us all into investors in the fleets of AIs of our choosing. So we're not going to be like traditional investors here. We're not going to be traditional capital. We'll be funding a business traditionally, or funding the government with bonds or whatever. And we're definitely not labor with this. There'll be AIs that do certain tasks, and we will help. We won't do any work. We would just send them some sort of, money or something, and they will give us a return. We will invest in the best returning AI, and they'll just be their own businesses. It seems kind of, I know it's not straightforward right now, but I think it's the whole world is about to change, and it's so exciting. I know it's sort of abstract what I said right there, but this Alex guy really makes you think, and yeah, turns us all into, so yeah, not labor, not capital, but investors in the fleets of AI of our choosing. Whatever fleets of AI we want to invest in, we pick there. All right. So Litecoin. In the past, Litecoin has been a place to experiment before doing it on Bitcoin with SegWit and the Lightning Network. We're talking about Litecoin. And something that could really help the ecosystem is maybe Litecoin could become 100% quantum ready. I know their Mimblewimble version is quantum ready, supposedly. I don't know. But yeah, they could experiment on the Litecoin chain. It would pump it. It would be a marketing gimmick like, we're quantum ready before Bitcoin is. And so we could see everything that goes wrong if you try to go quantum ready. And I am not too worried about I did the smart thing and I checked if my Bitcoin addresses were quantum appropriate, and if they weren't, I'd move stuff. So because there are some Bitcoin addresses that are so old that they would be destroyed immediately upon achieving mild levels of quantum, apparently. Okay, so let's see who's here. Oh my God, we got a lot of people in the chat. Shoot, I didn't see you guys. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see who. Remember, if you want to get my attention, type in Bitcoin Meister. No, I didn't lose some weight. I cut my hair. I've been skinny for quite some time. It is what it is. But yeah, my face. I need to shave, and you see my beard it's disgusting. It doesn't help the face at all. But no, I didn't actually lose any weight this time. In the winter, I don't really lose weight. And I think I look okay today. I think I've looked worse than this in terms of my how thin I can look sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Sometimes it can. I mean, people aren't used to how people used to look when everybody was thin and stuff. So, whatever. I look fine today. But so no, I didn't lose weight. But that I'm glad everybody. That's the thing I really hate about. And I'm not saying you. It's just like being this YouTube person. People don't even listen to my words. I taught people how to be millionaires. And more people know that I have crazy hair, that I'm really skinny, and what I look like. I got whatever. It's sad, but that's the way the world works. And that's why Gavin Newsom's probably going to become president, because he's a very good looking man. And put him next to JD Vance. There's no way JD Vance can beat Gavin Newsom, by the way, guys. Not at all. And JD, I'm a never Vancer, by the way. The Republicans, we'll discuss that. I got a lot to talk about today, so stick around, people. Somebody mentioned David Siemens. It's been I remember that dude. He disappeared like in 2016. I don't even remember what his whole shtick was now. But someone mentioned him. This guy's mentioning David Siemens about buying. I totally forgot why. He totally did. He was like what did he do? He just switched his opinion from Bitcoin to Ethereum. I don't even remember what his shtick was. And it's been so long. It's like he's from 2016. We're talking like 10 years ago now. It's unbelievable. It's so long ago, I can't even remember fully. Oh, he's back, someone's saying. I don't even remember. What was wrong with him that I didn't even like? These guys disappear. It's so, dude, everyone out there knows that the Bitcoin Meister, Adam Meister, Disrupt Meister, whatever you want to call me. I have been here straight since 2013. I hardly make any YouTube shows anymore. I'm on Twitter at TechBall every single day. Twitter is the best platform out there for Bitcoin related stuff. If you know who to follow, there's so much trash here on YouTube with the shorts, and all these other, and there's plenty of trash on Twitter also. My advice is to just follow me on Twitter. The guys I retweet, the guys I talk about on the show, follow them also, and that's about it. And just treat Twitter as a web page. You don't let the algorithm serve you stuff. Then you're an algorithm slave. You just go to specific pages. You go to Bitcoin, UK Bitcoin Masters page. You go to Deniz's page. I mentioned Deniz before. Bitcoin Moon Guy says, Bitcoin's hot. Bitcoiners, hi. Bitcoin Meister, hi, man. Hi. Hi, everybody. And people, seriously, ask me some questions here. Ask me some questions. Someone says there, I was smarter than Michael Saylor. I beat him. Well, actually, dude, in a way you were. I think he probably has a higher IQ than you because he does have a super high IQ, but he didn't make his move till 2020. So, and now people worship him. Worshiping him. That's sickening. It's sickening to worship him like this. Like, he can be wrong about a lot of things. Okay? Don't worship anyway. Don't pedestal anyone like you pedestal him. Or how you pedestal Trump to the point where you think JD Vance is going to take over his cult of personality, which he's not. He's just not. Okay, so we'll discuss that soon enough. We'll discuss some politics on here and some Israel. And obviously what happened at Bondi Beach in Australia was insane and horrible. And I was at Bondi Beach 10 years ago in around July the 4th of 2015. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. It's a shame it got so ugly. And the Australian government and Western governments just have to say what the problem is that this radical ideology is against the West, is against the Jews, and just they are taught that it's totally okay to murder Jewish people. That's cool. That's cool because and it's great to die for our religion. We have to say as Westerners, that's not acceptable in our culture. Our culture is about freedom, okay? And if someone has a different religion than you, let them do that religion, okay? Be happy, confident decentralist. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. If you don't like women not wearing burqas, don't come to the country. Don't try to change the Western culture into a backward. And if you believe in a death cult, you should be asked that on your form, and then you should be barred from entry. If there's any hints that you believe, you could be a member of that religion or whatever, that's fine. But if you really believe that dying is better than living, you can't come here. Dying is not better than living. Dying is not, it's a basic concept, but people have forgotten this and they think it's fine. Oh, let's just ignore that there's a bunch of people that think dying is better. No, dying is not better than living. Living is better than dying. Live, produce, don't destroy, don't be a nihilist. And so there's plenty of nihilist people that feel bad for these so-called victims that are they refuse to address the situation. So let us. So then we won't have these people who do these things anymore. It does not go with Western culture. Be proud of Western culture. Be proud the United States is the best country on the face of the planet. If Australia, Canada, all the English-speaking countries, they'd be great too if they got some cojones and just said no more. Life is better than death. Stop your death cult. You're not allowed in here if you're going to take your death cult seriously. If that's your philosophy. All right. So we addressed the Bondi Beach, and it's just a tragedy. It's just horrifying. But these things keep happening, and we can't just keep on saying it's a tragedy. And we've got to be proud of who we are and just say it. Like, making money is good. Being productive is good. Being the religion of your choice peacefully is fine. Okay. Having different philosophies is fine. Arguing about ideas is fine. Having ideas is fine. Not just letting someone dictate, not thinking. Using your brain is fine. But so if you don't like some of the ideas, or if they're different than you, unless they've aggressed toward you, the only solution is talking about it, not attacking and killing and stuff, okay? Now, if someone attacks you, yeah, there's something called self-defense, and we got to remember that too. That's very important. So, speaking of Israel, this is great. Should I do? And I mean, we're speaking of Judaism, but Israel is just all these haters out there. They say, well, now that our guys on the ground attacked Israel, let's now just attack all the Jews all over the world. It's open season, and there's plenty of people who think that's fine, which is disgusting. It just shows how backward some people in Western and these people aren't necessarily Muslim. Some people who think, oh yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, let's just attack a Jew that'll get back at Israel for doing the right thing, mind you. Yeah, no, these barbarians are the people who think it's right to do what's been going on. But with that in mind, I've been retweeting a lot of guys that have great thoughts on Israel, that are proud about Israel. We've got a guy named ER. Have you seen me read? ER's got a great book out now too. What's his book that he sent me? He's on the Ayn Rand Center UK page. YouTube, they've got a good show sometimes. And his book is out, Israel's Victory Plan Now. I've retweeted ER before, and there's some other guy. There's a guy out there who's a relative of mine. That you guys are not familiar with. There's BJ Dichter. And so, yeah, should I have all these guys on my show this week in Israel show or something like that? A Beyond Bitcoin show that talks about Israel and talks about which president of the United States would be worse for Israel, and talks about how these guys like Tucker Carlson are obsessed with the Jews in Israel. Should I do a show like that where I invite these specific guys on my show? Let me get some other names here. So I mean, BJ's been on my show before, but we've got and so I mean, someone says, so sorry to see all the hate and violence against the Jewish people. I'm glad. I mean, sorry isn't the right word. And I understand. I think I'm not questioning your authenticity. I don't want people to feel sorry for Jews. I want you to be sorry that our Western, not sorry, but disturbed. Be disturbed that our Western leaders are just catering to barbarians. It's ridiculous. It can't stand up. And the vice president's got to be wishy-washy about his friend Tucker Carlson. The vice president's a freaking joke. So, and Never Vance is my opinion. He's not going to become president. But it'd be bad. And I'm not just talking about for Jews or for Israel or whatever. He is horrible for the economy. He is an economic fascist. He is a primitive when it comes to certain technologies. He wants to regulate. He likes Lena Khan, whatever her darn name is. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I'm just throwing this randomly in here right now. You guys, I told you that I finally got myself something awesome with, because I've done well for myself. I did a Bitcoin, I did a YouTube short about it. It's not linked to below, but you could just, if you're smart enough, you could just go to my main YouTube channel. Do people still know how to do that? And just see my 3 YouTube shorts that are up there, and you'll see the most recent ones, and you'll see something that's been going on. And you'll also see other ones about stuff that I've been doing in Utah in honor of my father, something, charity. This is a very interesting things that I've been doing. And I don't talk about them directly. I just want people, I've been in the news for stuff. It's been fun. It's been really, I love it here, is all I said. Yes, someone just said, I'm not going to read what Iceman said, but so he clearly watched what I got. And obviously, if when I was a little boy, my father, the reason I got that present was in honor of my father. And he used to, he would talk about, he would just, one day, it was just one time or maybe 2 times. I can remember being in my room and I had this old TV, a black and white TV or something like that. And I would fiddle around with it. I could get channel 50 in Washington, D.C. I'm from Baltimore. And they'd have just terrible repeats on at night. And apparently my father found the repeats too. And I don't know why. I just remember being in my room and my dad was just like, Rockford. I'm like, what is Rockford? What is Rockford? And apparently there was this TV show he liked in the 70s that was repeated on Channel 50 in Washington, D.C., Rockford Files. And I never thought much about the Rockford Files until like 2020. And I don't know, I looked it up maybe. And some of you, we were talking about it on here, us YouTube guys. I don't know why it came up on my show. I think I told part of the story before. But the part 2 is really awesome. And yeah, Rockford. I think my dad liked Firebirds, and he liked classic cars, and maybe one of the reasons he liked that stuff was because of Rockford. Because Rockford drove, a 1978 gold Firebird. So, and everybody knows that. Well, he drove a gold. Most of the time, it was a 1978 gold Firebird. Before 1978, it was other models of a gold Firebird. But yeah, he. Everyone, when they see the gold Firebird, if they're an old man, they stop and they honk, and they remember that show. And it's on repeats now and stuff. So. Yeah, you can look what I got and why I got it. And it was hard to get. It was hard to find. But I knew all of you always asked me, why don't you get a good thing? And I never wanted a good thing. I never wanted something fancy. I like having the Bitcoin. I like doing I live such a nice life. It's been such a good freaking life, and I don't want it to end. That's why I love this AI stuff and this health stuff. And but when I started really thinking about it, I knew what I wanted. I knew there was one thing I really wanted, so I got it. And then maybe there'll be other things too. Maybe, and I'm really proud of that one thing. But that I got. I'm proud that I live comfortably and I can get something that I only look at. I'll only be around it like 3 times a year. I only go back to Baltimore like 3 times a year. And that's where it is. And I could just look at it. I could just, be sitting out there on the driveway and I could just look at it. And maybe drive it around a little bit or something. So, yeah, you can see what it is. I'm leaving you in suspense. It's obviously an emotional topic. And I didn't think I'd even talk about it. But you can, people... First, people like the way discuss the way I look. About these so-called YouTube personalities or whatever I am, because I'm the same person in real life as I am here. But they like to know about personal stuff about people and stuff. And I on the Beyond Bitcoin shows, I've always talked about personal things. My father. Well, when my father died in 2018, it obviously affected the Bitcoin show and. I didn't do a show the day of his funeral, which was, very rare to not do it. The day he died, I actually did a show. I did because of I was traveling on the day. It was crazy. But okay, going back to this, and yes, thank you. My dad would be proud, and I know he would be proud. Yes, he would be. Okay. So going back to the schedule, the top, and hey, if you don't like this stuff, I don't blame you. It's personal. You can skip around. Just skip around the show. Play it at 2x, please. Pound that like button. Retweet this one, baby. Retweet this one. I'll tell you one thing. My grandmother, my father, they'd be shocked at all this stuff that's going on in the world today, from the good to the bad. And trust me, there's a lot of good going on too. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin hopium. Why it's different this time. Well, maybe, okay, and dudes, I am pulling stuff out of my tuchlis here to give you guys some hope. Why maybe we can return to the all-time high, soon, instead of having a really bad 2026. Last time around, Ethereum, it was proof of work still. Now it's proof of stake. Maybe that'll make a difference with all these people that want yield, and then maybe the stablecoin regulation will be totally clear in 2026. All these people will be using stable coins, and it'll be so easy. You'll be just able to use your stable coins at a McDonald's or whatever. I will, and that'll be great, and that'll pump the price of Bitcoin. Okay, I know you're like, well, why does that have to do with Bitcoin? Well, when Ethereum does well, Bitcoin does well. They don't like. They're linked. Usually it's Bitcoin that's dragging around Ethereum, but hey, maybe it's going to be different. And Nick Carter, the best thing that he said is we need some type of a new reality with Bitcoin, building things on Bitcoin, building things on Ethereum and Solana or whatever, some killer app. It hasn't been built yet. And maybe stable coins are the killer app. That's what I was referring to above. But yeah, it probably really, if we want to shake because Nick Carter doesn't believe in the 4-year cycle. I do. Still, it hasn't been disproven to me at all yet. But he says that, it's like, he says that digital gold is just not going to sell it to the market anymore. So it's time for something to be built on Bitcoin. A different use case, I don't know. And maybe the stable coins on Ethereum is that killer app that's going to just change people's overall thinking of Bitcoin. And I know we're not going to have stable coins on Bitcoin. But in a reply to something that had to do with one of Nick's posts, I said, thought-provoking tweet, I think the 4-year cycle still needs to be disproved, and it clearly has a psychological market impact. There's no doubt it still has a psychological. The bigger point is that something Joe Normie can easily use needs to be built. If stablecoins become mainstream, ubiquitous, then Bitcoin will thrive. So, let's just people tell me who accepts stablecoins right now, and don't use your Bitcoin at McDonald's. Use your stablecoins, okay? Use your dollars. So yeah, we're not gonna have a tariff ruling till June. That sucks. I talked about Chabad on campus. I alluded to Chabad on campus. You can look up what that is. And unfortunately, so yeah, I'm obviously very connected to the Chabad organization. And yeah, the rabbi that was the organization that was putting on the event in Australia was Chabad, just like an organization that I'm a big part of in Utah. So I also want to say that if you're an Epstein believer, if you're really obsessed with this stuff, because by now it's become just such a cliche that is being used by influencers to get hits, to get views. It's a great way to weed out people. Like if you're dealing with the Epstein stuff, I don't want to deal with you. That's it. It's a great way to weed. Just don't deal with them. Okay. Don't follow them. And you don't have to make a public spectacle of the whole thing. It's just a way to streamline. We only have a certain amount of time on this planet. Okay. You can't deal with BS like that. You just can't waste your time with stuff like that. And now, the left is using it as leverage against Trump or whatever. Well, it's, what? The Trump people were using it as leverage against the left. And both sides should say, it's just false. He was a horrible person. There's no conspiracies. He's horrible. Why should we? It's just these women. Follow Michael Tracy, okay? Some of these women are just doing it for money. He might have done bad things to them, but there has been no proof that any women were sold or used by other men. He was blackmailing people. It is so ridiculous at this point, and it's sad I just spent all that time on that. But it's also just a way to, again, blame the Jews for everything. Just like, oh, you see how horrible the Jews are? Blah, 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 blah. Look, they control the world. They're hiding this. Blah, 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 blah. It's just this conspiracy stuff. It's just, you control your own destiny. Pound that like button, people. Stop. Just personal responsibility is a new counterculture. How long have I said that? Yet we have more and more losers just blaming. Oh, God. So, and we also have these people, Bitcoiners, supposed long-term Bitcoiners, who believe this conspiracy nonsense, first of all, and don't believe in freedom, which is sad and disappointing. But hey, they're going to do what they're going to do. But some of them are not satisfied with Bitcoin as it is. They don't like that banks like Bitcoin now. They don't like that it's not being used to buy, that it's not real money, their definition of real money. And they can't take it. They want people to spend it on coffee. They're like some type of hybrid Roger Ver. I mean, they're still complaining. I don't believe these people even own. How can you be complaining about Bitcoin, and be a long-term holder? I mean, did these people ever hold? Because you're rich now, and then they're like, "Well, who cares about being rich?" I'm like, I care about being rich. I just told you some freaking awesome stories about, how being rich has allowed me to do really. I mean, if your dad freaking died, all right, and you wanted to honor him to the best way you could honor him, and it was going to take you're not going to do it unless you're pretty darn comfortable and stuff. Okay. I mean, you have no worries. You could do anything in the world. And I did that. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. And knowing that I can take care of any of my other relatives and stuff who are alive, who he would love. I mean, it's awesome. And you can only do that when you're rich. All right. Being rich doesn't solve everything. Okay. It doesn't make you happy necessarily, but it makes life a heck of a lot easier. Okay. And dude, before I was rich, before Bitcoin was worth all this, and of course it's all on paper unless you spend it, but it gives you this luxury of I'm going to Hawaii. I should have said that. I'm going to be in Hawaii at the island of Kauai or whatever it is. It starts with a K. And I'll be there January 14th to the 22nd. Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing. I haven't been in Hawaii. I've been to Honolulu. I was in Honolulu in 2015. So I haven't been to Hawaii in 10 years. I've obviously never been to the other islands. I've only been to whatever one Honolulu's on, and yeah, Southwest now flies. I'll go from Salt Lake City to Oakland directly from some California cities, not just to Honolulu, to these other places. So I'm like, awesome. And I got the Thanksgiving deal or whatever it's called, Black Friday deal. Yeah, I still get a lot of deals. I know I'm not going to waste my darn money and stuff. Shoot, man. And yeah, I've totally run out of fiat. Basically, I'm like, my credit cards are maxed and stuff. It's insane, all the stuff I've done. But I know how to juggle it. Not recommended at home to do that, okay, with credit card offers. I'm not telling you to do that stuff. But also if people are interested in this at Coinbase, you can get loans out on your Bitcoin. That's freaking awesome. I'm going to have to resort to that really soon. Yeah. But yeah, I got to go back to these dudes who aren't satisfied with Bitcoin. This loser mentality that rots dark corners of the Bitcoin space. Some hate banksters, so-called banksters, usually Jews, so much that if Bitcoin doesn't kill them all, and in fact helps them while also making Bitcoin holders rich, then they need to cry. Do these doomers really own any Bitcoin? Take the win. Stop craving financial totalitarianism. So yeah, for all you dudes out there to think it only has to, every single person on earth has to use Bitcoin. And all the banks, there can't be any more banks anymore. There can't be any more banks. There can't be any more traditional financial. It all has to be Bitcoin. And we're going to force it on people. That's financial totalitarianism. All right. And dude, wasn't that what you were supposed to be about? Okay. In the first place, like being against totalitarianism, that this was freedom. So many people have confused freedom and totalitarian, just like authoritarian, dictatorship, whatever. Okay. Just putting dudes on pedestals and worshiping them. That isn't freedom. I mean, you chose to do it, but having dictators is not freedom. Okay. Being able to do whatever you want to do with your life. The government or some other outside entity shouldn't tell you what you can peacefully do with your life. All right, let's go back to a totalitarian of sorts. Luke Dash Jr. I haven't heard a lot about his him forking Bitcoin off, but again, I want to encourage him to do that. Crypto dividends. Let's use the word crypto dividends again, and we'll get some free ones from him. But again, that's the beautiful thing about the world. If you don't like the way something is, create your own. If he doesn't like the way Bitcoin is, then create an alternative. His anti, whatever it is, no pictures on the blockchain. Only use the blockchain only the way that Luke the Dictator says. All right. The all-time high came early before the halving, so maybe this time it's different, guys, and the 4-year cycle's dead. Okay, so that was a little different, right? And respecting private property, by the way. A lot of these dudes don't respect private property out there. And I say, if I got some private property, I should be able to employ anyone I want on my private property. You should be able to employ anyone that's in this country, okay? If they got in here, you should be able to employ them. So let's have at the border, let's have I love immigrants. I love immigrants. Let's do the proper. We shouldn't have people that are doing it the legal way and the people that are doing it the illegal way. All right? That's terrible. People running across the Rio Grande is not cool. Okay? We can easily implement a real border that lets people who want to work in here. Okay? I don't care what color they are. If they want to work, and if they want to work for cheap, we shouldn't have a minimum wage here, first of all. We shouldn't. And yes, also, if we're going to have a real border policy and a real open immigration policy where we only not accept people who are going to live off the public dime and who are going to, be murderous, those people aren't allowed. No, you have to believe in the philosophy of the United States, freedom. Okay, that's one thing. And you're going to have to work. We got to get rid of as many of the welfare programs for citizens and non-citizens immediately. All right, that will help also. So there's a lot of people who are like, we should have open borders, but we cannot have the great welfare policy that we currently have that's worth like $60,000 a year, because it's going to attract people who are going to lie and say they're not going to work. They're going to work, but then they're going to work, not going to work. Okay, you can't have both. but we can start going in the right direction easily. Okay, easily. So I'm tired of scapegoating every immigrant. There's some people that just want to stop all immigration. Dude, you are not entitled to it. Making you a United States citizen does not make you're not entitled to a job. If you live in some small town in Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, wherever, and your factory is gone, it's not the responsibility of the government to bring your factory back. Let the market dictate what jobs are and where they are. They don't have to hire you. They can hire someone who's new. Just because your family's been around since the Civil War doesn't mean you're entitled to a job. And the Mexican dude who's been around here legally since 20 years is not. No, you gotta work, okay? You gotta work. And in this day of abundance, there's plenty that is out there. And yes, a lot of it is envy, social media envy. You see so many people that have done so well, and you think it's unfair that you have to work a job that you do that you think is low quality. So you just take welfare and complain and say it's the immigrants' fault and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yes, if someone has private property, you wouldn't like if someone said, you've got this house, dude, you got to let my brother live in this house. No, so you shouldn't be like, hey, Elon Musk, you have to employ this person, or, Adam, you can't employ this person. No. That's totally getting rid of that is stakeholder. You believe in Klaus Schwab stakeholder equity. You're a magical stakeholder all of a sudden. No, you can't hire that person because I'm a stakeholder because I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen, so I'm a stakeholder in your company. No, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're not. Now, if you were an investor in a guy's company, if you were a stockholder, you could say, I don't like you employing Jewish people. I mean, it's insane, but you could say that. You'd have a say, and then the guy would be like, you're insane, dude. Okay. So here in the Western state, in the Mountain West region, I've encouraged these 6 states, and I know North Dakota and South Dakota are really in the plains, but they sort of are in the Mountain West. So North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming and maybe Alaska, are the freest states that are out there now. They have not been corrupted by this insane nonsense. I mean, the governor of Utah, I like him, but then today I learned something about him that I really don't like. But some things on the economy he's been good with. So I wouldn't support him for president anymore. But Doug Burgum was was governor of North Dakota. He's a billionaire, a self-made billionaire. He's whatever department he's in now, the interior, or he's in charge of the public lands. He wants to sell some. He understands the United States has assets that are worth money that can be sold off, that we don't have to own all this federal land. He is a good guy. So let's support a governor who has been successful as governor, who's been successful in the private, who's been successful in this region that is the most successful region. And I'm not just talking the talk. I walk the walk because I am in Utah. I am in Salt Lake City. I believe here. I've invested in things here. Okay. All right. I walk the walk. I talk the talk. And I'm telling you right now, in terms of politics, let's get people that have the Mountain West build mentality. Building solves a lot. As I was saying before, building on Bitcoin, building on cryptocurrency. Maybe that'll make it different this time. Building in the United States of America gets us toward abundance, where we're going to have more jobs, where we're going to have less people complaining. Ripping things down, putting in obstacles with regulation, that leads toward nihilism. Like, that person can't be successful. Hating the good for being good, putting obstacles in there. Rent seeking is disgusting. And Gavin Newsom's all about that type of stuff, okay? But he's pretty looking. And he will get the Democratic nomination because he's a good-looking man. He's a tall man also. But Vance and Newsom share a lot in common in terms of regulation. Newsom is attacking David Sachs, who is one of the best members of the Trump administration, who has helped us out a lot. Just made sure that cryptocurrency has not been ruined by the what's her name? The Massachusetts senator types. whatever, Elizabeth Warren types. And yes, on a certain level, J.D. Vance is like Elizabeth Warren. And we can't have that as president. That's horrible. That's horrible. And yes, David Sachs is far from perfect. He worships Trump too much. He is a smart man, and it's good that Trump has him part of the but Gavin Newsom will have nothing, no one like that. And Gavin Newsom is putting himself out there, and is he a fast talker or what? It's unbelievable. He'll say, no, my state is so rich. His state would be richer than China if he got rid of all the nonsense taxes that were there. Okay, United States of America would be number one, and if California seceded, if it was truly free market, if it truly had a leader like a Burgum, without all these taxes, it would be the number 2 economy in the world. Okay, I mean, I know you're saying, "Oh my God, Adam, that's huge," and maybe that is a little bit of an exaggeration. Maybe it'd be number 3, but China is pretty darn big. But dude, California is the ultimate weather. It would be the best state in the country if it was the freest state in the country, but it's the least free state in the country, or maybe Hawaii is. I don't know who's the worst with the taxes and this and that. But no, he's been a horrible governor. But since he's good looking, everyone will vote for him. All right. Okay. So the Republicans are going to have to put up someone serious, very serious. And okay. And who else? What did I say here? I'm going to say something more. Yes. I was a fan of Spencer Cox, but I'm willing to change my mind, guys, when new facts happen. And here's one. And I tweeted this out today. Follow me on Twitter. Spencer Cox was on my list of Republicans I'd support for president 2028. But this article reveals his unacceptable social media tech attitude. Regulations is leftist, and he is a proud tech pessimist. Yes, the dude calls himself a tech pessimist. He sounds like the Luddite J.D. Vance, and he does. And he wants to make it so 16-year-olds can't get on social media. Come on, dudes. Dude, that really that cost social media platforms so much money if they're going to have to do something like that. It's ridiculous. Come on, Spencer, you're a religious man. Can't you just be happy with, like, parents? Be good parents. Don't let your kids get on this trash. If they get on this trash, like TikTok or whatever, when they're 12, it's your fault. It's not Mark Zuckerberg's fault, okay? There's bad stuff out there. At the 7-Eleven, there were always porno mags, okay? Your kids will find this stuff. They're going to find bad stuff out there. You tell them it's wrong. Don't do that. Watch over what they do, all right? They're your kids. They're not adults yet. If they're 12 years old yet, you should be watching closely. Don't treat them like an adult. You treat them like a kid. Instead, Spencer Cox wants to treat Facebook and all these trillion-dollar businesses like they're kids, okay? No, it's not the response. No, all right? And you shouldn't be a tech pessimist. Tech is going to save everything, all right? Tech has saved everything. Tech has saved this country. If it wasn't for tech, these insane, horrible, what are they? The darn taxes that Trump has on us. Tariffs. They're tariffs. They're the same thing as taxes. The economy would be in much worse shape. Technology they haven't found a way to tariff that. All right. And he's been bribed by good tech people. Unfortunately, they had to bribe him in various ways, but the crypto people, the AI people, they've done a good job with this president. Are they going to be able to do a good job with Newsom? I don't know. I don't think so. But he loves this. He loves to cater to these haters of technology, to these doomers. And say that people who say the AI bubble, that this is an AI bubble. I mean, this is 2020 doomer craving panic people, okay? Sure, there are going to be some AI companies that aren't going to last, okay? But this is the beginning of a revolution. And it's going to be long-term good for Bitcoin. Well, I mean, I just people out there want AI to crash. They want it to be a bubble. They want there to be bad things. They love 2020. There's so much. Follow Peter Diamandis. Watch some of these AI shows, the stuff that's about to happen. Sure, it doesn't make that much sense, and there's some failure now. These companies are bringing in billions of dollars already. ChatGPT, scaring people about ChatGPT and everything like that. It's insane. Sam Altman's awesome. All right? He's awesome. Let them race. They're all competing so hard. It's so fun. So this AI bubble thing, I mean, they want there to be a panic. I mean, some people get their jollies off of this stuff. God. All right. So, and that's another thing. When we have these AI bubble panic drops in the stock market and it brings Bitcoin down too, it has zero to do with Bitcoin. It really does. I mean, it just has to do with these losers who who the same losers who were in 2000 were like, oh, this is, you see, it's all falling apart. Everything's pets.com, everything. No, pets.com was a rarity. Look at all the awesome things that came after 2000 with the internet. You're such a Luddite in 2000. If you look back now and see how idiotic these people were, saying the internet was going to fail, just like how the internet was a bubble. The internet is, everybody out there is making their money off the internet now. These haters, I mean, from the good to the bad. I'm making money off the internet. Everybody's still making money. I mean, people's jobs are totally based on the internet. This AI thing is bigger than the internet, people. So no, stop creating it's not a bubble. So some things are going to do bad. And when we have people and AI entities that spend their own money, that is good for Bitcoin. Don't be scared of robots. Okay? Don't be scared of robots. Don't be scared of like AI people that are become people's friends. They're going to be spending money, spending cryptocurrency. What are they going to be spending? Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these stable coins. I don't know. So I also want to say that America first. I mean, this saying it's just mindless. It says nothing of what your true philosophy is. I mean, do you believe in individual rights first? Say that. Individual rights first. All right? And so the United States should ally itself with countries that believe in individual rights. You need allies too, people. Okay? You can't just go at it alone in this world. All right? Trade is a good thing. Trade is a good thing. So individual freedom. Individualism over collectivism. America first, like as a movement, it's collectivist. All right, it is totally collectivist. Like, let's hate the outsiders. Let's, if the United States deals with any other country, that's not America first. America doesn't benefit from trade. We can produce it all ourselves. No, we can't. Let individuals go to places let individuals be dual citizens. They're senators now. They're like, no, you can't have more than one passport. And it's sick, man. It's mindless. It's just like a way to say, I don't want you to be free. You must worship the collectivist America that I believe in. No, let the individual freedom is what this country's founded on. Okay, it's not about a race. It's about a belief in freedom. All right, and people don't want to have philosophies anymore. Individualism is the ultimate accomplishment, while collectivism and tribalism is just the default for humanity. And so many people are just going to default mode, and they love being part of gangs. They love being part of cults. And America First is a cult at times. There's some good people who say it, but think about what you're saying, people. Just think about it. And elaborate on it, and then we can have a discussion. What are the philosophical meanings of America First to you? All right, kicking everybody out, is that the philosophical meaning for you? That's horrible? Okay, we talked about my so yeah, I was in Baltimore for Thanksgiving and for my father's work site. It was great. I got to see some old friends from high school. They were loving it. The surprise. They were loving taking their pictures. They knew my father, so it was great. And my family loved it. They loved the license plate. I said what you guys will love that part of it. I tweeted all this stuff out. It's just none of you pay attention. It's hilarious, and it's all on this channel. It's just so funny how algorithm slaves everyone is. It wasn't served up to you on Twitter or on YouTube, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's like, all right. Frankie, it's so easy to find. Oh yeah, if Trump sends out $2,000 checks because he's messed everything up so much with the tariffs, that could help Bitcoin. And yeah, I would actually like the United States to split into a 4-party system with the by the way, populism to me, let's be intellectual here. And I've told you guys this before. Populism isn't like, oh, what the people want. And people say, oh, they're cutting up, and it's just, it's too much power to the powerful. No, populism is pure envy of the wealthy and successful. It's a nice fancy way of stealing from the rich and blaming the rich for all your problems, blaming the successful for all your problems, and leveling everything out, which is things don't have to be leveled out. Things don't have to be equal. Equal is not fair. Equal is not what we're trying to get to. Equal opportunity is great. Having everyone equal is slavery. That's how you do that. But it would be great to go to a 4-party system where it's really clear what's going on. On the left, you've got your populist, Zora Mandani types who are just like straight up saying, I'm a democratic socialist communist, and I want to steal from the rich by taxing them. And that is my, okay, he's being truthful. But then have some Democrats that are like, no, we want to build stuff here, okay? And yeah, we believe in some liberal policies with the trans and the this and the that, and But okay, then on the other side, we have some Republicans who are just like, no, we can't have that person's too rich. I don't like him. He wasn't loyal to the president, so we're going to pick on this industry. We're going to pick on this rich industry. Tech is bad because they've made so much money. Social media is bad because they made so much money. So our populism is like, that's the way we're going to even things out is, take money from them and give it to this other industry in Ohio. Yeah. And we're going to build a factory that nobody wants to work at anymore. Because we stole from productive, and AI is scaring us some. So let's put regulation on it for the good of the state. Okay, so that's that end of the Republican Party, and then we'll have a normal Republicans, and those are guys that I like. The tech right, the people who are like, build it, baby, don't tax it, build it. Let's get rid of regulations. Let's embrace technologies. Let's not be scared of technology. So those would be the 4. J.D. Vance and Tucker Carlson. They could be on the hater Republicans, and then dudes like Doug Burgum, like Ted Cruz, like Governor of Florida DeSantis. They could be on the regular Republicans, the tech right, the ones and who have a moral compass, who are willing to say what is bad in this world. That we have allies, and there's some evil people out there that are trying to destroy our allies. And when an evil, rights disrespecting organization like Russia or Hamas attacks our allies, we should support our allies verbally, morally, financially, and if selling them weapons. And yeah, that'll be. And from there, and if there's a regime, there are bad regimes. Venezuela is a horrible regime that does not respect freedom. All right, let's have a real plan on how to get rid of that regime. Not stuff that just makes the I like the sentiment from Trump right now. I don't think they're doing it right with Venezuela. I think we should just fund whatever and give weapons to whatever legitimate people in Venezuela want to get rid of it. But just like randomly destroying drug boats, I don't exactly get it. I think a lot of it's for show. And Rubio is on the right track. I think he's being held back some. Rubio's pretty good. Okay. So, we talked about the AI bubble that doesn't exist. I'm glad we talked about, but as it is right now, is a 2-party system. And there are these populists at either end of it that are really putting in a bad name for the regular people, because the normal people in the parties, because they're so loud and they're just so in your face. And the algorithm loves to spread nonsense from haters like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, who are and it's just so funny. The two populist ends of the woke right. He's the woke right, and then the communist Jew-hating left. They have a lot in common. Maybe they could just form their own third party, but I don't think they get along very well. But Tucker Carlson soon enough will have Zohar Mamdani on his show. We'll be praising him, praising him. Sure, it's only a matter of time because Tucker doesn't give anybody a hard interview that that's good. And he calls Barry Weiss an idiot. Barry Weiss is a very successful, smart woman. I think what she's doing, her interview with Erica Kirk, that's so. I mean, TV sucks now. That's the best you're going to get from TV. It gets every generation watching. It gets the boomers watching because it's like, and people are dressed nice on the show. People are normal. There's no cursing. But there's some hard questions. And there's some interesting subject matters and stuff that younger people will like. So much respect to Barry Weiss. And obviously, I don't know what Tucker calls her an idiot because he's jealous of her, I assume. But Bill Ackman, it's the same. He calls Bill Ackman an idiot, a man that it's very difficult to do what Bill Ackman to become as rich as Bill Ackman has. His investments and everything. This is hardcore stuff, that he's done. So, Tucker tries to paint himself as this guy. He's from the backwoods of Maine all of a sudden. The Tucker, whatever. Tucker's got his luxury place in the backwoods of Maine. Great. You're not really from Maine, dude. I mean, I think he grew up in Southern California. But that's besides the point. I wouldn't care where he's from. But I don't like what he pretends to be. And his philosophy is the most nihilistic thing out there today, okay? And so many people buy into it. It's sad. Speak up against it. Yeah, so it's just, I love this time. 4-day work week people are in. And this does cause some tension. There are some people that don't have 4-day work weeks. And this causes the populism that I mentioned above. And yes, college-educated people like me got started, when I was in college, you were able to figure out, toward the end of it, I was able to figure out a way just to go to college, take classes 4 days a week. So that really has bled into mainstream culture of people that do have college educations and work in industries where you don't have to use your hands and stuff. And it's made some people angry, and people should not be angry. They should try to aim for 4-day work weeks because we're really close to like everyone having a 4-day work week. And, I live in the successful city of Salt Lake City, so I see just a lot of people off on Friday, a lot of it. So I know I'm a little biased toward what I'm seeing, but I mean, people have, and I've said this before, 3-day weekends, 3 dogs, 3 cars all around me. So, and move here. You'll be like that soon enough too if you move here to a successful state like Utah. And yeah, Governor Cox did have, because he's pretty hands off on some other things. He's done well with Utah. Just the whole, obviously the whole underlying philosophy that was laid down by the Mormons, who are awesome people, that's still here despite, there's some liberal people and whatnot. But there's respect here. Anyway, but yeah, the Democrats are into this affordability BS now. And all it is again, it's income inequality, class warfare. In the end of the day, people could buy so much more than they used to. Now, there has been inflation, of course, but everyone's got a smartphone. If everyone can buy a smartphone, I mean, this affordability needs a better definition, all right? It's income inequality, and it's class warfare, and it's wealth inequality. And guess what? Class warfare is horrible. Income inequality and wealth inequality are good things. No, there's nothing wrong. Everyone can't get paid the same. Everyone can't be worth the same. People who work harder, who produce more innovation are going to be fabulously wealthy. Aim to be them. Stop hating them. Stop coming up with new terms like affordability to try to steal from them and get votes. But hey, and yeah, there are a lot of dudes out there. They're like, I have to live in the McMansion, the $2 million McMansion. There's nothing wrong with renting. What's wrong with renting? Get that through your head. I rent. I'm rich. I rent. I'm rich and I rent. I don't need it. It's not a It's like people, it's the size of their, you know what? They're comparing how big it. I'm satisfied with the size of my, you know what? All right. I'm renting. It's fine. I don't need I don't need to make up for it in some other way. All right. And there's all these other people that are so jealous that they have to show that they have the best thing, the biggest thing, the biggest, the best, the biggest, the biggest. No, you don't need a McMansion. Renting is a lot better than owning a house in many, 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 many situations. It is. I've owned houses before, and I've told you the stress. You can be sued. There's so many extra costs, so many things, insurance constantly going up, all these things. Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's very affordable to me when the insurance keeps going up and all this on your house that you were, and you can't even afford the mortgage. All right. You don't need that. And it's good you did the math and you can't afford a $2 million McMansion. It's great. You didn't deserve it. You're not entitled to it. Rent. And it is sad that where I'm from in the Baltimore area, that if you want to live in a decent area and own your own house in a decent area, it's like $1 million now, and send your kids to a good school, which I think all the public schools are horrible, but it's a so-called good school. Okay. But I mean, it's ridiculous now to fit in the Baltimore area, in the suburbs. You're gonna have to pay $1 million for a house now. It's just the way it is. And I'm not encouraging people to do. I'm telling people rent or leave, and you don't need to fit in. You know what I did in the Baltimore area? I moved to the ghetto, and I came up with a plan for all these people. That's what made me known in Baltimore. That's how I got on the internet and got my. It was such a fun time. Oh my God, living the Buy a Block project, where I got people to move to this one block, including myself, and just fix up the ghetto and just band together, look out for each other. It's not for everyone, but in the city of Baltimore, which is an incredibly dangerous place, don't tell me it's not affordable. You could buy houses for $40,000. They're just in horrible places, horrible, scary places, but figure out a plan and you could party your life away. And I did party, and it was so much fun. Spending $41,000 on a house. Yes, I spent $41,000 on a house. Yeah, I obviously sold it for more, and I turned it into Bitcoin. Pound that like button now. And it was fun. Women, drinking, partying, and again, don't value your wealth in women and drinking and do unhealthy things like that. But when you're younger, it's fun. And but yeah, so instead of complaining, come up with some fun, original ideas like I did many years ago, and live it. Live your life. Don't complain your life away and be jealous about why you don't have a 4-day weekend, why you don't have the McMansion in the valley or whatever. Any management of the economy is mismanagement, says Yaron Brook. I said that last time. I just wanted to say it again. I linked to Yaron Brook. He's got TDS, but he's good on Israel, but he's bad on some other things, whatever. Any management of the economy is mismanagement. Our economy is not meant to be managed at all. So yeah, when the governor of Utah wants to manage the Facebook and all that stuff, it's totally mismanagement. You think you're doing good, people, by trying to it's economic fascism. It's a dictator of the economy. That's not let it ride. Okay. Eliminate the 4-year cycle in your politics, man. That's interesting saying. 10-hour days? No, I think the 4-day work weeks, they're still working not 10-hour days. Yeah, they're just not working as much anymore. I don't know. Yeah, there is something freeing about living a simple life. There is. And I'm not saying there's different aspects of what a simple life is. So it wasn't, living in the ghetto wasn't simple. It was, there were some frugal aspects to it, but there were some awesome complexities. So certain things can be simple on one level, but can be such a fun adventure. And I said before, it's not all about wealth is not going to make you happy. It's going to solve a lot of your problems. But so adventures, living life is for me what happiness is. And that's what you're speaking of Yaron Brook, that his bottom line, which gets blurred sometimes, is just be happy, live life. You have one life, make the most of it. Other people shouldn't be holding you back. The government has no right to stop you from living the funnest life that you can live if you're not interfering with anybody else's life. Somebody said bread is good for digestion. I don't need any bread. The only time I eat bread is, as everyone knows, the first 2 nights of Passover, I have matzah. That's it. But at the Seder, you're supposed to have matzah. So that's my bread. That's my gluten for the year. Oh, yeah. Someone says, I'm sure property tax sucks in Baltimore. Oh, my God. It's the worst in the state of Maryland. And the CUCKs in there, they just put up with it. That was one of my things for years. I was like, cut the property tax in half to Baltimore County's level. They never did it. Of course not. They could do it. Hey, Adam, how do you feel about the knots versus a core debate? What I think is that the proposal out there that core had was way too much. All right? And that some of the knots people, they're way too strict. So, like, Core's got a PR problem. Definitely. I don't know about this knots thing either. So this is something I clearly have not dabbled too much into. I don't like Luke Bass Jr. I think he's crazy. But the guys at Core shouldn't have done the proposal they did. I'm with Udi on this, okay? Follow Udi on Twitter. I'm with him. That there's got to be something better in between what the two are offering right now. Yeah, and you know what? Oh yeah, why am I so skinny? Because I don't eat healthy foods. I've always had a very quick metabolism. I run 15 miles a week. I'm in constant motion. I'm a skinny guy. And I've tried. I've wanted to put a little. I mean, I look ripped and stuff, but it's obviously not. It's because I'm so skinny. You see every muscle in my body, and I really do. If I were to put on weight, I'd want it to be. I want more muscle. I do want more muscle. I haven't tried anything really good to get more muscle. As a lot of you know, I'm not a vegan anymore. I stopped the veganism. I did that for 3 years. So now I have a tin of sardines every other day, but there were some protein issues I was clearly having. So, you know, I'm not going to I'm not one of those maximalists that are just like, if you have any animal, you're going to die. Like, I do think there are statistics that say veganism is awesome, but I lived it and I need a little bit. And I hope I'm right. I hope I'm totally right about, let's get AI to figure more of this out, like what the perfect diet really is. But there is, you know, animals do cause certain problems in people. So I'm still, I have not gone back to anywhere close to what I used to be when I would love, I do love fish so much. I do love fish. If I could just be convinced that, like, again, maybe it's just I bad genetics. It's just not meant to be or whatever. But we're on this verge of extending life so long. And yeah, I eat a lot of pumpkin seeds. Look, here, so weird. Someone just typed it. There's some pumpkin seeds there. Literally from the pumpkin. I have all these free pumpkins that I've gotten. I get the pumpkin. I eat the seeds raw. It's great. That's not enough protein. I don't know, dudes. I don't know. You know, everyone's genetically different. You know, I do believe that red meat is bad. I do believe that red meat is bad. I really hope that we can genetically engineer things that are a version of red meat that is awesome. That's perfectly safe to eat. But I'm sticking. I might be wrong, but all these meaty, like, let's overdo it on meat, dudes. Try to avoid the red meat. Try to avoid the red meat. And yeah, I'm in the middle of a 41-hour fast right now. I do at least 28 of them a year, because, like, you end up skipping a month of food, a month of days of eating during the year. You know, every day, I fast 20 hours every day. But when I do a 41-hour fast, you go from Monday to Wednesday. So Tuesday's totally skipped. You had no food on Tuesday. When you do like a 24-hour fast, You eat at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, and then you eat at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. But so you're eating every day. When you do a 20-hour fast, 24-hour, you're eating every day. But when you do a 41-hour fast, you're not eating every day. And so my point is to skip a month of food in a year, and then over a 12-year period, you've skipped a whole year of eating, which is insane. And maybe that's why I'm so freaking skinny. So the benefit of that is your body gets to heal everything else when you're not eating. If you actually look at your numbers on your smartwatch here, get one of these. It's $600 a Garmin. Your HRV, your heart rate variability, when you sleep and you haven't eaten, it's just incredible. It goes through the roof. Your body is just in better. Eating is a stressor on your body. That can't be denied. Eating anything is a stressor on your body. So that's why you want to do it in a short period of time. Just once a day. Instead of spiking the insulin, spiking this. Eating is a stressor on your body. It's just the way it is. And so if you skip, your body concentrates on other things, and your body goes into a state of it's burning fat. So the longer you fast, the more ketosis and all that stuff. That's a lot of good things starts happening. Your body just starts addressing different things. And so people should try to have a 72-hour fast. My record is 120. What's my record? 134 hours or something like that. I don't know what it was. Over 5 days. But yeah. But no. The benefit of fasting is not saving money at all. Not at all. I don't need to save money. I don't. It's always good to save. It's good to save my fiat so I don't have to get into my Bitcoin. But that's not why I fast and why I do all my food related stuff for totally health, longevity reasons. That's all. It's all about longevity, and also just while I am on this earth, to live a very comfortable life and to not have any pain. And there are guys that I went to school with that are younger than me that are I knew that are dead. Actually, it's unbelievable. Or very sick or in pain constantly, or who can't run, who can't walk, who've had serious things. So that's not me at all. I mean, I can do anything. I go up. I don't do the elevator. I rarely do the elevator. I live on a very high floor, so I'm walking up flights and flights of stairs, walking so much every day. It feels great. I love it. I wake up wake up very early, go to sleep early. It's just I feel real good, but I don't have the muscle or anything like that. So like you feel like you're gonna live. Hey man, if all of a sudden I drop dead right now, no complaints. It was a great life. I felt healthy the entire time. So there's something to it. Like when you've lived 70 years and those last 10 years are a living hell, that's horrible. That's really bad. And then the 10 years before that were this slow just destruction. And then the 10 years before that you were aching. And then the 10 years before that you were fat and ugly. And like, it's like, ugh. Yeah. Like that's why I fast, dude. All right. They're saving money. Hey, we've really gotten off track, but whatever. Again, you can go through this. All right. There was something. There was something I forgot to link to below. And so that's it. I'm going to end the show now because I didn't even link to it below. So why even talk about it? Here, one final thing. Sam Altman makes a great point that in 10 years, what is considered work will look much less than what work looks like to us now. So in 10 years from now, because of AI and his awesomeness, we're going to be saying we're working, but whatever that is like, it's not what we would consider work right now. or it'd be hardly what we consider work right now. So that's something to look forward to. And that's a reason to be healthy. And I want to see the future, man. I want to see that future, man. Come soon. Golden age. Pound that like button. I'm Andypdx, Bitcoin Wizards, Rutmeister. I don't think there's any questions here. And welcome to the 4-hour work week. Someone says, God willing, Baruch Hashem. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. And we'll light the candles now off air. So have fun. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.